6:45 a.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Lal Mallavarachi, assisted by Sanjay Paladeni and read by Mario Vijayavardhana. The headlines. The government has decided to disburse a cost of living allowance of 5,000 rupees for public sector employees starting from this month. The government says that individuals who have defaulted on tax payments must also be brought into the tax net. A special Aswasuma unit will be established in each divisional secretariat. The Japanese finance minister will visit Sri Lanka on Thursday. The first session of parliament will commence today. In foreign news, suspected Israeli strike in Lebanon kills senior Hezbollah commander. In sports news, Sri Lanka beat Zimbabwe by 2 wickets in the second ODI. The Cabinet of Ministers made a decision yesterday to disburse a cost of living allowance of 5,000 rupees starting from this month for public sector employees out of the 10,000 rupees that was pledged in the 2024 budget. As per the budget 2024, public sector employees were promised a cost of living allowance of 10,000 rupees from April this year. The Cabinet of Ministers, which met yesterday under the patronage of President Ranil Wickremesinghe, has also decided to increase the disturbance, availability and transport allowance given to the government medical offices from the present 35,000 rupees to 70,000 rupees. Furthermore, the study allowance granted to university academia has also been increased by 25%, and this increase will take effect starting from this month. President Wickremesinghe, in his capacity as finance minister, submitted these proposals to the Cabinet of Ministers yesterday. The State Minister of Finance, Ranjit Simalapitia, emphasized that while Sri Lanka has 1 million individuals with the financial capacity to pay income tax, only 500,000 are presently meeting this obligation. The State Minister stressed the importance of incorporating the remaining 500,000 tax evaders into the tax system with the goal of decreasing indirect taxes and increasing the direct tax rate. The State Minister underscored that in developed nations, being a taxpayer is acknowledged as a sign of a robust citizen, actively contributing to the nation's stability. He also expressed optimism that the citizens of this country will undergo a positive shift in attitude, thereby fostering development within the nation. These remarks were revealed by the State Minister of Finance, Mr. Ranjit Simalapitia, addressing the news conference at the Presidential Media Centre yesterday under the theme Collective Path to a Stable Country. The State Minister also announced that preparations are underway to commence the implementation of the tax identification number from the 1st of February. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
People's Bank Excelsior. Live the life you want.
Special Aswasuma unit will be established in each divisional secretariat and an officer will be appointed to look into the matters pertaining to the program. The government has decided to call applications afresh for the Aswasuma Welfare Benefit Scheme. The consideration of appeals regarding the Aswasuma program 2023 will be completed by the end of this month. This decision was taken at a discussion chaired by Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena held at the Temple Trees yesterday. The discussion focused on the continuation of the Aswasuma program. The Prime Minister pointed out that the public would be allowed to submit appeals in this regard. He further mentioned that the program is being smoothly carried out at present. The Japanese Finance Minister Shunichi Suzuki will undertake an official visit to Sri Lanka from the 11th to the 12th of January. During the visit, the Japanese Finance Minister is scheduled to have official discussions with the President Ranil Wickremesinghe and the Foreign Minister Ali Sabri. Minister Suzuki and the delegation will visit the Parliament, the Jayawardena Centre, the Sri Jayawardhanapura Hospital, the Colombo Dockyard and the Lanka Nippon Biztech Institute in Maharagama during his stay in Sri Lanka. The first session of the Parliament in the new year will commence today. The Acting General Secretary to the Parliament, Chaminda Kularatna, says that the parliamentary sessions will be held until the 12th of this month. The State Minister of Finance, Shehan Semasinga, says that the Microfinance and Credit Regulatory Authority Bill will be submitted to the Parliament today with the aim of regulating the microfinance companies operating in the country and streamlining their services. The Minister points out that this is expected to ensure the safety of the lending business businesses as well as customers.
People's Bank Excelsior, a comprehensive banking services package with a branded checkbook as well as debit and credit card exclusively for you. People's Bank Excelsior, for professionals who dare to dream.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatma.
The 15th Population and Housing Census, which was started by the Department of Census and Statistics, will be completed on the 31st of January. The Colombo District Secretary K.G. Vijayasiri says that the Population and Housing Census program started on the 1st of November last year, covering the entire country. During this period, officials had to face many issues while collecting details. Some people were helpful and some refused to give their details. There were difficulties when entering certain houses as they were closed and the gates were locked, Vijayasiri said. However, legal action will be taken against individuals who refuse to give details relating to the program.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatma.
This is Watchlight.
Indicating the rapid spread of dengue, Sri Lanka has registered 2,316 cases within the last 7 days. Accordingly, around 325 cases have been logged per day. Speaking on the situation, the Director of the National Dengue Control Unit, Dr. Sudat Samaravira, says that the country has again reached the stage where an average of over 250 cases are recorded per day. Owing to the prevailing rainy conditions, people are urged to keep their surroundings clean and destroy mosquito breeding places in order to keep dengue at bay.
Coming up, World News.
In world news headlines, a suspected Israeli strike in Lebanon kills a senior Hezbollah commander. The French Prime Minister Elisabeth Borne resigns ahead of expected reshuffle. Technical hitch threatens the US moon mission. The Lebanese group Hezbollah says one of its commanders has been killed in a strike in southern Lebanon, believed to have been carried out by Israel. Wissam Tawil was reportedly a member of the group's elite Radwan force and one of the most prominent Hezbollah figures to be killed in the current violence. Israel's military did not comment, but it say it had hit Hezbollah targets in response to cross-border attacks. The clashes have raised fears of a wider regional conflict. France's Prime Minister Elisabeth Borne is to leave office after less than 2 years in the job. It comes amid reports President Emmanuel Macron is poised to reshuffle his top team ahead of European elections due later this year. In a statement, Mr. Macron said Ms. Borne has shown courage, commitment and determination during her time in office. It is not yet known who will be appointed as her successor. The private US moon mission launched on Monday has run into technical problems. The astrobotic company behind the project says its Peregrine spacecraft has experienced an anomaly that has stopped it from pointing its solar panels stably at the sun. Without the ability to charge its battery, the mission's plan to land on the moon is in danger. Astrobotic said engineers were working on the issue and would provide updates when it had more information. And now the main points of the world news segment once again. A suspected Israeli strike in Lebanon kills a senior Hezbollah commander. The French Prime Minister Elisabeth Borne resigns ahead of expected reshuffle. A technical hitch threatens the US moon mission.
Development News.
Minister Bandula Guruvardhana and the High Commissioner of India to Sri Lanka, Santosh Jha, recently launched the track rehabilitation work at the Galgaon railway station, commencing the upgradation of the railway line, including ancillary works from Maho to Anuradhapura on Sunday. The upgradation from Maho to Anuradhapura on the main line is the second phase of a line of credit project for track rehabilitation from Maho to Amantai, which was undertaken by an Indian public sector company under an Indian line of credit of $318 million.
Moving on with sports news.
Sri Lanka beat Zimbabwe by 2 wickets in the second ODI at the R. Premadasa Stadium in Colombo yesterday to take a 1 lead in the series after the first match was washed out. Chasing a target of 209 runs, Sri Lanka reached a target in 49 overs with 2 wickets to spare in a thrilling encounter. Janit Lianage, 95, top scored for the home side as Sahana Rachige chipped in with 21. Earlier, Zimbabwe won the top and elected to bat first against Sri Lanka. Sri Lankan spinner Mahesh Teekshana returned figures of 4 for 31 to help bowl out Zimbabwe for 208, despite skipper Craig Irvin's 82. Zimbabwe elected to bat first and looked good at 182 for 4, but were bowled out in 44.4 overs, losing the last 6 wickets for just 26 runs. The final match will be played at the same venue on Thursday.
Go ekatiyana youth ekata life eke change ekata niyameta set wenna as wagena dagapu veena habe karanna youth ekata niyameta set wenna friendship eka menna.
The all new NSB Ithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
TJ Lanka PLC took the silver award in the extra-large category of the textiles and garment sector at the Annual Export Awards 2023, presented by the National Chamber of Exporters. The NCE Export Award followed similar accolades for export excellence, including a Best Exporter Award and a Certificate of Merit at the 2023 Presidential Export Awards presented by the Export Development Board, and a Merit Award at the CNCI Achieve Awards for Industrial Excellence presented by the Ceylon National Chamber of Industries.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekatiyana youth ekata life eke change ekata niyameta set wenna as wagena dagapu veena habe karanna youth ekata niyameta set wenna friendship eka menna.
The all new NSB Ithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
And now in economic news, the International Monetary Fund would evaluate Sri Lanka's economic progress next week, with a team of officials expected to arrive in the country, the Finance Ministry said. State Minister Shehan Semasinga says that a team from the IMF would be in Colombo and would engage in technical meetings. The team will also meet with President Ranil Wickremesinghe. Semasinga said that the team would evaluate the progress made thus far in the IMF-backed reform program. Quote, "It is not going to be an assessment per se, it is a routine staff visit before the upcoming review," unquote, he said. The second review under the 48-month Extended Fund Facility Agreement is scheduled to be held in March and April this year and will look at the performance for the July to December 2023 period. That was economic news.
Weather report.
Rainy conditions are expected to enhance in the northern, eastern, Uva, central and southern provinces in the next few days, and cloudy skies can be expected in the southern half of the island. Showers will occur at times in the northern, eastern, Uva, central and southern provinces and in the Polonnaruwa district. Several spells of showers will occur in the Anuradhapura district. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places elsewhere after the island after 1 p.m. rather. Heavy showers above 100 millimeters are likely at some places in the eastern and Uva provinces and in the Hambantota district. That was the report, and now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. The government has decided to disburse a cost of living allowance of 5,000 rupees for public sector employees starting from this month. The government says that individuals who have defaulted on tax payments must also be brought into the tax net. A special Aswasuma unit will be established in each divisional secretariat. The Japanese finance minister will visit Sri Lanka on Thursday. The first session of parliament will commence today. In foreign news, a suspected Israeli strike in Lebanon kills a senior Hezbollah commander. In sports news, Sri Lanka beat Zimbabwe by 2 wickets in the second ODI. That concludes this news broadcast. You're with Radio Sri Lanka on a Tuesday morning. Your time ticks on to 6:59.